Welcome, everybody. Good to have you all on the call. Today is about secrets to scaling profits and retention. We want to make this most impactful, dynamic, and valuable online conference. It's 90 minutes packed with information, 10 minutes, 5 speakers, really delivering there for you and everybody else. Now, what you're going to see is one in a lifetime. Our speakers are not people who are doing speaking for their life purpose. They are people in the industry with decades. On this call today, we have 100 years of experience being shared with you. Every speaker is coming with remarkable history, value, and experience. So take this seriously. Put things on the side, mute your phone like you're attending a live event, and take notes. Now, how are we going to do this? I found that businesses are struggling today. If you guys attended HFA a couple days ago, they share that we're still not reaching our pre-COVID numbers. It's shocking. It's getting harder and harder to acquire new clients and keeping them. Competition is not easy. Employee management. Oh my God, how many of you wish you have easier time finding, keeping, and getting A players? Just put it in the chat. How many of you have some kind of challenge with employees? Put number 1 in the chat. Let me see. Yep. Okay. What everybody else? It's one of the biggest challenges facing today, right? There's the uncertainty is all-time high. Everything is more expensive, but yet many gym owners and anybody, local businesses are behind on raising prices, making it difficult to keep afloat, right? And for that reason, I'm organizing this conference. I'm organizing these events where people who do not struggle in certain areas, who are killing it, growing, beating out everybody else in certain values, are coming here to share the secrets with you. Now, today's speakers, we have from Tribe, Nick Palladino-King. Oh my God, last time I spoke with Nick was absolutely jaw-dropping, incredible conversation. This is the person that's going to start the conversation today. Guys, if you want to know how to really build a 7-figure business from A to Z, not only that you need to record this, listen recording, go dissect it by one, but also listen to his podcast. Join, follow Nick. It's going to be life-changing conversation. Nick, great to have you here. Then we have also Derek Riley. Guys, success is not about making all great things. It's avoiding mistakes. You don't have to do everything right. You just need to avoid stupid mistakes. There's a book called Road Less Stupid. Today, you're about to see some of those things that you can just kind of cut through it and get a shortcut. We have David Posin. Oh my God. Guys, I got to tell you that when me and Dave got together, it's supposed to be 30 minutes conversation, ended up 2 hours. Dave, you remember our podcast? Damn. I'm waiting for your book, buddy, and I'll be the first one to read it. I got to tell you that. So I cannot emphasize how much content is going to be here. And we have a Brad Hinkle. How to raise prices, guys, while you are keeping all your client and preventing churn and increasing closing rate in the same time. Think about that. Like, how can you win-win? Are you guys ready? Let's do this. Now, I'll wrap up because I love the topic. My world dedication, my life mission is how to help local businesses get most members with the minimum cost. And I want to show you some hacks today, how to do this without spending money on the ads. Now, a couple housekeeping rules. 5 speakers today, fast, punchy, 10 minutes topics, boom, 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 right? We know that business owners appreciate time. You guys don't have time. This is going to be so impactful. So good to see so many of your faces here. Now, after each speaker, you'll be able to rate the speaker. And we want to make sure that you guys do your part. This is how you say thank you for the conversation that you just heard, for the education that you got delivered. Everybody here is about to grow. You also can give a feedback. Got it? Say yes to feedback. Let's see your chat. Boom. Put a yes on the chat. There we go. Number one, yes, yes, yes. Do it. Awesome. Now, best rated speaker will get award plaque plus some cool value from us as a sponsor of this. I want everybody to turn on the camera. Let's make it interactive. This is a live event. It's not recording. This is not something that you are watching on demand. This is all us committing our time to help you grow. And by the end of the presentation, we'll have 5 breakout rooms where each speaker will have its own breakout room. You will go to their room and ask questions. How cool is that? Right? So save your questions, write it down, because by the end of this, in about 15 minutes, you'll be assigned to breakout rooms, or you will be able to go to the breakout rooms and ask questions. Now, all the speakers are here. Let's start with first speakers. Are you guys ready? Let's see this. Just say yes, I'm ready. I want to make sure that everybody is on it, that you guys are not in the email, chatting, sending text messages, talking to somebody. This is the focus time. This is the time when we all learn. Hell yeah, that's right. Yes, yes, yes. Cool stuff. Now, I wish I could say my favorite speaker, because I'm going to say this for every speaker. Nick Palladino, buddy, good to have you here. I gotta say, guys, Nick Palladino is CEO and co-founder of Tribe Fitness. You should check it out. He's also influencer. He is a premier fitness and yoga studio in San Francisco. 15 years of experience in movement training, breathwork, meditation, coaching. He helps individuals, including CEOs, athletes, and entrepreneurs achieve peak performance and personal growth. He's also co-host of Conscious Conversations, and that's the podcast. Nick shares insights on leadership, transformation, and wellness. Let's welcome with a big round of applause to one and only Nick Palladino. Nick, welcome to our conference, online conference.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro. It's one of the best ones I've gotten to date.
That's awesome. Nick, I share the mouse control with you. You can now take your mic, take the screen, and lead us through.
All right. I'm pumped after actually seeing everyone that's on here too. I'm excited to learn as well. So, thanks for having me on. Thanks for taking time to learn. And I'm really here today to talk about how you can build a 7-figure business based off values and community. So just, throw me a 1 in the chat if you got into the gym or wellness business in order to help people. I'd like to see kind of who's my heartfelt entrepreneurs that are in the house today. Looks like everyone. All right. So I thought I'm in the right room. So I'll jump into my kind of why I'm up here talking in a minute, but just quick agenda. I want to jump into today is why I personally, with heart and values, how you can design a value system for yourself that really navigates your company and becomes its compass. The third thing is let's talk about defining our personal missions, why we're here, why we're doing what we do. I'll wrap that up with why accountability is key for making this all work. And then at the end of the day, what this is all really about is actually teaching you the secret sauce, how to make your members see you as their third home in order to skyrocket retention and LTV. So there is a business aspect behind this, of course, at the end that you're all going to learn from. All right. So for myself, I started my career in corporate sales, and after quick success and a ton of anxiety and unhappiness, I got myself into yoga and meditation as a way to kind of heal myself. And during that time, I started to ask myself questions of, who am I in the world? And really more importantly, how do I want to be in the world and how do I want to impact the world? And as a result, my heart started to tell me that being in corporate sales wasn't the path for me. And it led me on a journey to get into wellness and coaching and yoga and owning a gym. And eventually, and which I didn't see coming, that became what is now Tribe Fitness, which is a 7-figure gym business in San Francisco. We just opened another location. And it's really a business that's built on values, on mission and community, and business success all at the same time. So I want to really show you how to create kind of the secret sauce to having your cake and, let's say, eating it too. So I'm super passionate about heartfelt business entrepreneurs. It sounds like there's a lot of us on here as well. Let's see if that's the next one. All right.
Let me know if your mouse control works.
Okay, it's delayed.
Good.
There we go. Okay. So first thing I want to jump into is defining or designing your value system. Okay. When it comes to defining your values, I think this really needs to become your compass of a heartfelt business, right? Especially in the gym business. And everything you do can really start with your value system. For example, before we came up with the name Tribe, we talked about what our values were. And as a result, that's how we design the business. So what I'm going to really invite everyone here to do is think about what are the 5 core values that you operate your business by that are they're not nice to have. These are absolute non-negotiables. Okay. For Tribe, it's community, it's empowerment, it's continuous improvement, it's inspiration and enthusiasm. And we make all of our decisions around these values, right? And I would say more importantly, your values need to be not only visible in the studio, they need to show up in your marketing language, right? They also need to be something that your staff and your members actually sign off on and agree to. That's something we do in our space. And what that allows you to do is really start to develop a community that's built on the same common ground, right? That's really built on why people are there. So as I'm talking, I'd love to kind of know, and some of you guys have already done it, is, what are your business values, right? And also throw them in the chat so we can see them. I had notes on this, but the notes disappeared. So now I'm just kind of winging it. As we go further into this, when you're thinking of your values and your decisions, I love this. Transparency, community. That's awesome. When you're thinking of your values that really guide your decisions, I think you should think of it in 3 different levels. Okay. One is your vendors. So for example, we've been using Referrizer for years and actually just met Andre about a year ago. And it's like him and I are so in line in terms of the way we think and the way we show up in the world. It's like, why wouldn't I want to be on this show today? Why wouldn't I want to be on your podcast? Why wouldn't I want to use this product? Inversely, if you use vendors, especially for marketing and sales that aren't in line with your values, it'll start to show up in your business. Your members will feel it. Your staff will feel it. Okay. The second thing, and this is key, I think, more than all the other 3, is your staff have to align with the value system. And more importantly, I think you need to make them your champions of your values, right? The secret hack here to hiring, and I know Andre kind of mentioned we're all having challenges with that, is hire based on values over skill set. Okay. You can't teach someone to care. You can't teach them to be a community member. You can't teach them to show up on time. What you can teach them is how to be a good trainer, right? How to be a good coach. So hire for values over skills. I've burnt myself a couple of times by hiring experienced trainers with good skills that aren't in line. And it's been my experience that they don't work out. And then finally, I would challenge you to align your values with your members, right? And the way they interact with their staff, the way they interact with each other. And if your members don't align with your values, it could become a really cool coaching moment of, hey, here's how we do things here. This is what we're about. If you can do that, great. And if you can't do that, that's also okay, but you can't be a member here anymore. And I've had those conversations. I've also not allowed people to join my gyms if they weren't in line with our value systems. And I think at the end of the day, when you start to run a more community-based business, you need to become the curator of that community and really start to decide what's the vibe. And people will self-select out also, which is a really cool thing here. But yeah, making your decisions of your values, of your vendors, your staff, and your members is really, really key. On top of that, as you got it, and I know I saw a lot of you said you're heartfelt business owners and you got into this industry to help people. What that tells me is that we all have some kind of personal mission, right? Or personal mission statement. Andre, I think you mentioned yours.
Yep.
Mine is to inspire transformation. I can do that here right now. I can do that at the gym. I can do that as a friend. But your business can really become a container or a vessel for you to share your personal mission in the world. And let's be honest, owning a gym business or wellness business, it's not easy, right? It's challenging. There's way easier things to do out there. So you've got to have a sense inside that what you're doing matters, that it's important, that it has impact. And I think, to use a gym term, your personal mission becomes your spotter, because there's going to be days when you don't want to get out of bed, and that's okay, but you don't want to feel like you got to pull yourself. I find when you have a mission, it pushes you out of bed. And regardless of if you're having a good day, right, Andre, or you want to show up, it doesn't matter, because your mission's greater than your problems. And this is why I put in here, your why's got to be more important than your why not. Okay? And your team's going to feel this. your staff's going to feel this, and your community is going to feel this. So I'd love to know, some food for thought. If you want to throw them in there, either what are your missions, and then think about, why do you do what you do? What are you passionate about? What's your mission? Why is it important? And why does it matter to your community? And this can be a really cool way to start to think about your personal mission, maybe even for the first time. And once you do this, I invite you to challenge your team to also come up with their own mission, because they're going to have bad days, and say, it's okay, Andre, connect to your mission, remember why you're here, and let's do the best that we can. Okay. Okay. So yeah, mission and values are great, but without accountability, it's just fluff. It's not going to work. So when it comes to accountability in your mission and your values, you got to hold yourself accountable, your staff accountable, and your members accountable. Okay. I really think what I'm talking about now is walking the walk as a leader, because that's what you've signed up for to be a gym owner or a wellness leader. Is you've signed up to do things differently. You've signed up to show people that you can have heart and you can have a really great business. So you got to walk the walk, and you're going to find out if you're walking the walk in challenging moments, right? And I think as a leader, you either gain points or you lose points in every decision you make, right? It's almost like one up, one down. And you really gain the most amount of points in terms of respect and trust and value with your staff and your members when you uphold the values and the mission, when things are challenging, or maybe even when it affects your business or your bottom line. That's when people really start to have a ton of faith in you, that you are the leader you say you are, and that your mission is really important, and it's helping the people around you. So I really challenge you to use accountability at the core of all of this when it comes to building your community. Okay. And then, yeah, this is quick, Andre. So to come in, taking in for a landing, mission, values, and accountability. This is all going to lead to what's called the third home. And some of you have probably heard of this. And if you haven't, what it is your members have work, they have home, and they have one other place that's up for grabs. Okay. And if you can become their third home, this becomes the stickiness to retention and to your community staying and in your staff staying, right? Once you become their third home, they don't leave. And this is how we've built Tribe to have a sub 5% churn rate over the last 2 years, which is absurd in the industry. I think the industry average is probably over 10, if not 20%. Our average member stays for 20 months, and our current LTV per member is over $8,000 and rising. And I would attest the majority of this to being a business based on values, mission, and accountability, and eventually becoming our members' third home, where they want to stay and then they want to bring their friends. I know we're going to talk about referrals. And what I'd like to just say to kind of wrap up is I've kind of given you the foundational piece here of the background to operate and build your business upon. As the next speakers come up and they give you more tactical things, the magic here, team, is going to be combining this all together. So having a heartfelt business that also has skills and procedures and policies and ways of building business in smart ways. When you do that, this is how you're going to outperform the industry. This is how you're going to build your business when other people are failing. And this is how you're going to be really successful as a leader and also as in a community member. So hope that helps. And we'd love to hear your questions at the end of how to become a sticky business.
Whoa, Nick, I gotta say two things here. I know it's not time for asking questions, but I gotta give you a comment. A lot of people think now like, oh, I have my values. Question is, do you have it written down, and can everybody in a company name them in the middle of the night? Because our company changed radically once we wrote it down, once we start bragging about it, once we start meeting about it, and once we start firing people based on the values. It's almost like million lines just get aligned in the one direction and pull in the one way. It's a game changer, guys. No big company can become a big unless you sort out the values. Second thing is, hey, if your members feel coming to your business as escape from the problems, this is their happy place. This is their third home, but want to be a first one. You made it. The proper values, proper implementation. They got to feel like this is the place for them to be. Thank you, Nick. This was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, what I want to say is take the phone and team, please copy the link for a rating in the chat. Take a 10 seconds. 1 to 10. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about the importance of the value of this topic, about your need to implement it? Scan the phone, scan this, or click it inside a chat as my team is putting this. You guys can see me. I just put rate Nick Palladino. Click on the link, and once you do, just put like thumbs up that you did, so we can move on. Guys, we need your feedback. We want to make sure you guys give us now how you feel about each and every speaker. I'm not allowed to rate. Sorry for that, but you guys can. 5 more seconds. You guys open it up, and I'm going to go to the next speaker. It's coming up. Awesome. Can I see thumbs up on the cameras that you guys completed rating? By the way, if you don't do this in your business, you're missing a lot. How do you know how to improve the next time if you don't ask people for a feedback? Right? Awesome. Now, I'm excited for my dear friend and next speaker that's coming up. One and only. I will say that every time. Derek Riley, who is the president and CEO of Zoo Health Clubs. Guys, what are you about to see and hear and listen is gonna be remarkable. Success on the sport is about making less mistakes in the business. Learn from other people's mistakes and avoid them. You will get shortcut to success. You know, there's 3 ways to succeed. One way is try and error. Make every mistake in your life. It's going to take you 50 years of experience. They call it experience. Or you can do research, cut the corners, do 5 decades in 5 years. Or you can model success. Just do what somebody else does and get really compress decades into months. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce Derek, who is the President Chief Operating Officer of Zoo Health Club, where he leads growth of innovation across 33 locations. 25 years of fitness industry, guys. We're talking about quarter of the century here. He was born in the gym, including experience in private equity, staffing, and transforming gyms. Derek has passion for creating customizable fitness solution for franchise owners. Oh my God, you should listen to his podcast about how he merged multiple industry inside the same building and expanded revenue. It's so brilliant. He is committing to redefining fitness by integrating recovery rooms, wellness clinics, and cutting-edge health strategies in Zoo Health Club's offering. Derek, pleasure to have you. I'm going to give you mouse control, and floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, I got to follow Nick. Thanks, Nick, for a great presentation. No, I'm very excited to be on here. I'm going to cover the 3 biggest mistakes. I wouldn't say the biggest all the time, but you know, after my little presentation, if you want to reach out to me, I'll give you 20 other mistakes that gym owners make. But these are what I see across my brand, and a lot of times how we educate and train our franchisees getting into them. Okay. So my agenda is for you guys to understand the challenges some gym owners face, take those biggest mistakes and their impact, and then I'm going to show some proven strategy to overcome these mistakes. And then I'll take any questions and answers in a breakout session for you. But a little bit about me. Look, I understand the challenges of leading a gym. I'm a dream maker for a lot of people that want to get into the fitness industry. And there's a big challenge when you do that, because to get into the franchising industry, you don't necessarily need to come from a fitness background. You just usually have to have the financial capability to do so. But I still have to teach them the business model and how to manage teams, retain members, and navigate the financial pressures. So I've been in the trenches. I am currently the president and CEO of the Zoo Health Club. I did spend 20 plus years in that fitness industry. I oversee multiple franchise brands. This Zoo Health Club is in my big box portfolio. I also have a studio, and then I also have a mid-range gym in my portfolio. But I've been very passionate in the industry. I've actually been working out since I was 13, the first time I entered into the gym. Never left it. It is my second home. Nick, I loved how you said about the, your third home. Literally, my wife and I are in the fitness industry. It is our second home. I used to joke about, I went to Penn State University, and before I'd even go to the bookstore, I'd arrive on campus and go join the gym, so, that shows you where my passion lies. But let's get into this. Okay, let's talk about some mistakes. All right. One of the biggest mistakes right now. Now, I want you guys all to picture this for a second here. A member walks in to your gym or your studio, swipes in, key tag or checks in or whatever, and no one behind the counter looks up at them, engages with them. They head off to the treadmill. They go get their workout in. They go off to locker room, change, leave. 3 months later, the phone rings. You pick up. Hello, this is Derek. I'd like to cancel my membership. Right? So you're perplexed. Why? Why would you want to cancel your membership? Well, I can tell you one thing. I don't care what gym out there has a $999 membership fee, but it's not the money is why they're quitting the gym. Okay. It's because no one made them feel belonged. All right. So, one of the biggest things in the average gym, and now I know a lot of people from the studio industry are on here too, but in the big box gym, a member stays on average for 6 months. So if you're constantly replacing those members, you're not growing. You're just treading water, right? So how do we impact and change that? Well, a strong member experience, whether you guys call it onboarding or however you run them through the process of new membership check-in, it's more about the member experience than your latest equipment, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I love equipment. I'm an equipment junkie. All these new pieces of machinery coming out that I didn't have when I was working out. But it really isn't about the equipment or how your place looks. It's about how they feel when they're inside there. So you want to make sure every member feels valued and seen. And the best way to prevent these cancellations is to create that welcoming environment. Walk them through every touch point because that's what matters. Okay. Implement regular feedback systems. Look, regular feedback systems, get them while they're there. Get the surveys while they're there, not when they leave. Not when they leave. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get them back. All right. You're not going to get them back. So work on the surveys, the feedbacks, the in-person check-ins, the automated messages. And I know there's a bunch of people on here that can accommodate that type of stuff. Get those Google reviews. I know, Andre, that's a really important thing, and outside of that, offer those personalized fitness plans and goal tracking. Just make them feel engaged and welcome and wanted. Not everybody wants to tie into the gym community, but I can tell you one thing without a doubt. It has been lifesaver for me. Some of my best friends are the community of the gym. I moved from Pennsylvania and I missed that community that I had in the gym that I had built for years. So, I think that's just as important. And, you want to make sure that you train your staff to engage with those members just beyond checking in, right? So I'm going to ask you this right now. I challenge you, look at the gym through the eyes of a new member. Would they feel at home in your gym or studio? Or would they feel kind of like an outsider? All right. Mistake number 2, I see a lot. Inadequate staff training and development. Look, your gym is only as strong as your staff. Okay. Nick just touched base on a lot of things that we institute here. The culture of the people that work for you, not so much always the culture of the people that are in your gym. They'll be part of your culture if you get the people working for you believing in your culture as well. So, if your staff does not believe in your gym, why should your members believe in your gym? Wouldn't you agree? So let's be honest. Members can tell when your team doesn't care. I've been into multiple locations before where I didn't even get anybody to say hi to me or, didn't even look up when I'm checking in. Now we have that thing with people that we're always trying to get those people off their phones and pay attention to the members coming in. But I grew up in a gym up in Pennsylvania where the guy, he may have been very hard on hearing, but he knew every member's name that walked through that door. And sometimes I'd be out on the gym room floor and I would hear, the Rileys are here. So, that just made me feel very welcomed in that environment. And that I could tell his whole team cared because he cared, right? So gym should feel like your community, and your team sets the tone. High turnover creates inconsistent service and disconnected experience. So let's invest in a more structured onboarding program for your staff. Provide continuous education, host regular workshops, cover industry trends. Don't get left behind, get people involved, encourage certifications in specialized fitness areas, foster a team culture. People stay where they feel valued. And I think that's very important, and there's a lot of college kids that like to work the front desk at our gyms, right? But if the owner of the gym says, why don't we help advance you into personal training license, right? It get them another foot in the door in the fitness industry, and that progresses into them eventually maybe being a gym owner someday. So, get them plugged in, make them feel valued too, make your your members feel valued. So training is not a one-time event, it's a culture. Okay. Investing in this continued education will build confidence, improve safety, and enhance the member experience. Mistake number 3. Yes, very big. Poor financial management. Okay. Look, I'm a dream maker. Like I said, I put a lot of people in gym franchise brands, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Passion alone will not pay your bills. Okay. Passion alone will not pay your bills. I am very passionate about the fitness industry. Okay. But that alone will not pay the bills. You can have the best gym studio in town, but if you don't manage your numbers, your doors won't stay open. Some of the biggest mistakes I see within my brand and outside of my brand, grandeur plans of how they're going to set up a gym, overspending on equipment, then underpricing their services because they know the $9.99 person's in town. Okay. So to me, I think discussing to anybody getting in the gym business is, yes, it is still a business. Remember that. When you're working out in a gym, you can be passionate about working out. When you're on the other side owning a gym, you better be passionate about the books and your P&L. Okay. And that's just straight up, it's a gym is not financially stable. If a gym's not financially stable, it can't invest in better staff. It can't invest in marketing, or it can't invest in better member experiences. So let's create those budgets. Let's stick to it. Let's review that P&L on a weekly, monthly basis. And let's find out where you're leaking money and trim the fat, and then invest in other things like the equipment, side rooms, but don't come out the gate providing all when you aren't financially capable of doing so. So don't undercut your worth either. I think that's very important in our business. Don't undercut your worth, especially in the personal training business. People will pay for value if they see it. I mean, it's just listen to Alex Hermazi. I mean, they'll pay. They pay for value if they see it. If financial management isn't truly your strength, then align with someone that understands fitness businesses, and that way you'll come out on top on this. All right. So my path to success to build a thriving gym business focuses on those 3 pillars: member experience, staff and training development, and financial management. Now, as I said, these are some of the top 3 things that I see within my business and outside of the brand. We could talk all day about mistakes that gym owners make, and I'm always available to talk about that too. So, but if any of these resonate with you, please let me know. Now let's talk a little bit about those world applications. All right, so 2 examples of my brand. Lisa had a membership problem. Lisa's gym had a solid marketing strategy, New members were constantly coming in. The problem, they weren't staying. Each month felt like start from scratch, trying to replace the ones who left. She realized she was focused on acquisition, that she neglected retention. So she restructured the onboarding process, implemented a follow-up system for new members, and built a stronger community. The impact members stayed longer, referrals skyrocketed, and her gym's financial health finally stabilized. Okay. Lesson, a great gym just doesn't bring people in, it gives them a reason to stay. And I think, Nick, you kind of touched base on that, saying, you know, give them a reason to be here, that this is my culture, they want to be there. You know, and then I have another example about Jake, who kept losing his own people. He paid well, he had great equipment, and his gym was growing, but when he finally sat down with an exiting employee, he got the answer, there's no real direction here for me, it just feels like a job, you know. So he needed to create a team culture, not just a workplace. And as you can see in my story here, gave him clear career paths and started recognizing wins, big or small. When you build a team that feels valued, they build a business with you. And that's what you want. A slide, there you go. Great leaders in the fitness industry just don't react. They anticipate, adapt, and lead with intention. Success isn't about avoiding challenges, but about meeting them head on with strategy and resilience. Your gym is a reflection of your leadership. When you elevate your mindset, you elevate your business. The best gym owners don't just build facilities, they build thriving communities where members feel empowered, staff feel valued, and financial growth is sustainable. The future of the gym starts with the decisions you make today. So, what's the first change you would implement after this session? Please drop a comment and let me know. Thank you.
Bring it on, guys. Derek, you nailed it, buddy. I love it. Guys, revenue, money coming in. It's not, we're not entitled to that. We got to earn it, and we earn it by delivering experience, not putting it on a paper. Belief is just pure substitute for experience. Does your member experience community? Do they experience being welcome and that your gym, your business is like their second home, right? Training never stops. You think you train it? No, you got to reinforce it. That's what we're doing here. That's why your guys joining here, to train it. And then if you don't know how to freaking manage financials, by all means, all money is gone. Like, you can do 2 pillars, super awesome, great training, great people. But if you are really bad in finances, if you keep paying bills that you should not be paying, all this goes out. Now, homework for all of us. Let's give a Derek a little bit of love. Let's share feedback. Let's put a rating. Guys, we'll give you 10 seconds. Click on the link. There's a link shared by Mia. Thank you, Mia, for posting this. Rate Derek. Click on the link. Or scan the QR code. And when you're done, just put a little bit done so we can know, guys, that you're doing this. By the way, how you can expect your members to rate your business, give you feedback if you don't do it yourself? Think about that. Lead by doing it. Okay, can we see thumbs up? I know it takes 10 seconds to put a rating. One sentence means a lot. That's how we pay gratitude to what we do. This is how we improve. This is how we all grow. All of the speakers today came in voluntarily to put a time for you guys. Thank you all. Well, now I want to put a little bit about sponsor guys here. Have you heard about a company called True Conversions? Oh my God. Ads that works as hard as you do. Now, while you're answering those questions, I'm curious about how to boost quality, increase conversion, and maximize ROI on the ads? Think about this, guys. There's a company that is doing a free audit. If you have agency, cool, awesome. Why don't you get a free audit that somebody can go through your funnel, review everything from the design, content, to conversion messaging, and give you written feedback. You can go back to your agent, says, fix this. You can double your conversion just by knowing what's wrong. This is free, no obligation. Just scan QR code, put your website, and sponsor will do it. If you like what they do, you might ask them to help you out. But it's no obligation, just pure value added. By the way, only 5 people can get this. That's how much time we have. Now, there's a link as well in the chat for this, guys, so you can move on. And let's continue with, oh my guys. Guys, how many of you have watched or listened serious? This is the only guest that we made 2 episodes out of the podcast. 2 hours, full funnel from the top to the bottom. We just couldn't stop. I had to reschedule everything in between to make sure we don't miss the beat on David Posin, who is the president of Soldier Fit. David, I'm so glad that you're here. Guys, he is a successful fitness franchise with over 19 years of experience in this industry. I would love you guys to drop everything out and take the pen and paper and write down the notes. He is the one who built multi-unit franchise and driven 8 figures in revenue, establishing himself as a leader in fitness business growth. His innovative approach to fitness and franchise development makes him an incredible resource and somebody that you really want to pay attention to. Dave, we're glad to have you here. Welcome to our conference.
Andre, you are the greatest hype man on earth. Me and you're just going to hang out all day. Every time I walk into a room, you're just going to go first. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, guys, we got to jam about 60 minutes of referrals into 10 minutes. So we're going to get going. I'm super excited to talk about referrals because in my opinion, this is the lowest hanging fruit to help increase sales, make sales easier, and reduce marketing costs. So let's dive in.
Yep. Oops.
Okay, we're getting there. All right, so basically I want to talk about why are referrals important, why people refer, how to get your team bought and invested, and then I'm going to give you guys 3 strategies that you can implement today to start crushing referrals. All right. So first and foremost, just like Derek said, you guys got to know your numbers, right? We have to understand as business owners, right, why referrals are important. Well, 1, they're going to be your cheapest lead source. 2, they're going to be your hottest lead, right? So if you're salespeople or maybe you're struggling with sales, the more referrals you generate, the easier time you guys are going to have to be able to sell. So there's 2 metrics that I want you guys to track. First is your CPL. That's your cost per lead. So basically you're going to take your total marketing cost and divide it by your total leads that you get each month. And then you're going to average this out through the year so that you have an average cost per lead. The second one is going to be your CAC, your customer acquisition cost. You're going to figure this out by taking your total marketing spend and divide it by your total sales for the month. And then again, you'll average that out. So this is really important because we know why referrals are important, but let's put numbers to it. Right, we can actually see the exact dollar value of every referral going into your company. Okay, so you can also build incentive plans, not just guessing, because most business owners, when they build referral incentive plans of giving people prizes for referring, they're just doing it arbitrarily. Hey, I think it's a good idea to give them a free month. Oh, maybe we'll give them $50. But if you're not using pure data, you might be undervaluing that. You might be overvaluing that. So let's just use an example. Let's say your customer acquisition cost is $200. So you pay $200 for every referral, or every new member that comes in, you pay $200 for that. Now you know, okay, there's room. So every new member that we generate costs $200. So I can easily give away $100 worth of value, and I'm saving 50% of marketing costs on there to acquire a member. All right. And then this is going to, again, help you generate all of your structures and rewards based on that as well. All right. So why do people refer? I think most people understand or they assume that people refer because of these incentives and prizes. Yes, they are important, but they're not the most important thing. Guys, they're referring because of you. They're bringing people into your business because they like you. They look up to you. They want to be you, right? It's not the thing that you're giving them. It's the high five. It's the handshake. It's the hug. It's the recognition, maybe that you give them a shout out on social media and thank them. Maybe you're making announcements after class, congratulating Susie for bringing in Brian, right? These are all feel good things that people are going to continuously bring people in. If you just make sure you're not focusing 100% on Next thing is we got to get your team bought in, right? There's only so much that you guys can do on your own in terms of sales without developing your team. This is one of my favorite quotes. You guys can write this down. The promotion is only as good as the promoter. I'll say that again. The promotion is only as good as the promoter. It doesn't matter whether you're giving away a free car. If people don't know about it, no one's going to take advantage. Okay. So how do you get people to buy in? How do you get your team to buy in? So we've talked a lot about this, right? You're instilling the beliefs. You're instilling the culture. You're explaining to them, this isn't just a new member, but we're out here changing lives. So when I get my team bought in, I do two things. What I don't want to do if I'm adding a new referral incentive structure is just flat out say, hey team, we're going to start getting more referrals and you're going to get paid XYZ for it. There's no value. There's no excitement for that. Okay. So I do two things. One, storytelling. Okay. And when I say storytelling, we're going to tell stories consistently. You should be doing this all the time about member success, right? Detailed stories about member success. That way, these deep-seated beliefs are continually bought into their belief system, okay? The second thing is I call it micro buy-ins. So let's say you're now meeting with your team. You have a team meeting. You're going to talk about referrals. You want to do kind of a Q&A. You just don't want to tell them, you want to get them bought in. So if I'm having a conversation with Andre, I would say, so I want to make sure everybody is here because they want to train live. Agree or disagree? Do you guys believe that the more people that we sign up, the more lives we change? Agree or disagree? Right? These are just micro questions, micro buy-in. It's leading you to your final solution, right, of getting more referrals. But you got to incentivize them too. Right? People will do it off of beliefs, they'll do it off buy-in, but you got to pay them extra. Right? So maybe you pay them $20 for every sign up. You're now going to pay them $40 for any self-generated sale that they get through the door. And again, you can figure this out by utilizing your CAC minus the prize, and then you have the difference. Maybe you split the difference by paying your staff that. And it's got to be tracked. Okay? People are motivated off of leaderboards. And so if you're doing a referral play or referral incentive, maybe you create a leaderboard for your team, right? And these are things that you continuously talk about and show month over month. You can't just talk about it one time and expect your staff to feel that it's important. This is a continuous thing that you guys need to do. Cool. All right. So we have 3 referral buckets that we're going to talk about. One is going to come from prospects. So we're actually going to get referrals from people before they're even members. The second thing is new customers. So the minute someone signs up, we are going to start generating referrals from them. And then the third is our current customer pool. So the first one, guys, this is as easy as asking a sentence. This is probably the simplest and easiest one. I actually want to use you guys to chat. If you guys know how many appointments that you guys set in a given month, put that in the chat if you can. Okay. So while you guys are putting it in the chat, guys, this doesn't get any easier. At the end of setting the appointment, you're going to ask them a question. You're going to ask them who they want to bring in. It's as simple as that. So I say, hey, Andre, since we have these 2 spots open at 4:30 and you took one of them, I'd love for you to invite someone. Who would you like to bring with you? That's it. Let's say you're converting 10% of the time, you're setting 80 appointments a month. That's 8 free appointments by just asking one sentence. All right. So that's number one. Want to make sure you guys are just adding that in. It's super, super simple, super, super easy. The easiest one that you guys can do. The second one is what I call POS referrals. It stands for point of sale referrals. This is every time someone signs up, we are going to create a strategy around getting referrals off of them. How many of you guys have a script or a point of sale referral strategy where you every time are asking for referrals from every new sign up? Just put a yes or a no. Very, very important. And I use the word script. There are some things that you can generalize. This is one thing that I recommend that you memorize and you say it exactly the same every single time. Okay. So I'm just going to give you an example of how we do it. And then I'm going to kind of expound on those and kind of use some of the psychology that we utilize. So I'd welcome Andre into the gym. I'd say, hey, Andre, again, welcome to Soldier Fit. We're super, super excited to have you. The next step is to build your accountability system. We've been doing this for 20 years, and we know that our members are 80% more successful when they have friends and family to work out with. In knowing that, we've created our VIP Battle Buddy system. So you have up to 6 people that you can bring in for a free week. Now, the best part is if they join, you're going to get a free month. So I'm going to leave this sheet here with you. Just write down their name, numbers, and email if you have them. And I'm going to grab your shirt. I'll be right back. Andre, what size shirt do you wear? Large, perfect, and I'm out. So I want to kind of explain a couple things that is important here. One, and most salespeople don't ask for referrals. Why? Actually, let's put that in the chat. Why do you think most salespeople don't ask for referrals? Fear, nervous. Fear, don't know. Shame. Yeah. Yeah, shame is probably, in my opinion, the biggest one. And I say shame because they feel salesy doing it, right? They feel like, God, I just sold this person. Now I'm going to ask them for something else. Salesy, yeah, there you go. But we're framing this incorrectly for our team. This isn't for you. This isn't for the salespeople. This is for the member, okay? You have to reframe this to your staff. This is to make sure that they are more successful, right? This is to build their accountability system, all right? So again, a small mind frame shift that you guys as leaders need to make sure that your staff understands, okay? The next thing is it's part of the process. So I use a simple word that I said, the next step, okay? This is the next step in your journey, Andre, okay? We can't do without this because this is important, okay? Stressing the importance. The last thing that I feel is very, very important is I didn't ask if you know anyone, because the answer is always going to no. I told you to simply write them down, and then I left. I didn't stand there with an awkward silence so that they told me that they didn't know anybody. I left the room, and now they're sitting there with a pen and paper. They don't want to be the kid caught without doing their homework. They're like, man, this guy, he's expecting to come back, and he's expecting names on the list. I should probably do it, okay? And you wait as long as you need to come back in, okay? Because you'll see people taking out their phone, looking through it. Give them time. Don't rush back in, all right? But a referral is nothing. A referral on paper is nothing if we don't follow up, okay? So we have to have a follow-up system, whether you implement it in their CRM, whatever you might do. There's a couple bonus strategies that I like to utilize. You can throw them on a group chat with the member and that person together and send them a message. But you always want to make the member aware or have the member tell them that they just put them on the list to get a free week, okay? And your job is to now hype the member up, make them look good. So if I'm calling the referral's name is Johnny. Hey, Johnny, it's Dave over at Soldier Fit. Your friend Andre just signed up, and he actually only had 6 slots available, and he gave you one of them. So he must think pretty highly of you, right? And then you just go down the line, roll into your pitch, get them added as well. Cool. So those are, again, a few quick ones on the referral strategy or point of sale. All right. The next one is what I call a refer and receive play. Okay. This is what we're going to utilize for our current and existing members. Okay. So this is something you're not going to roll this out every month. You probably roll this out maybe every quarter. You're going to buy a big prize. Maybe it's like a giant TV, a canoe, a grill, whatever is exciting in your area. You're going to put it at the front desk, a bunch of balloons. You're going to create a flyer, and you're going to create a point system, right? So every person that you bring to try a class, you're going to get 1 ticket. And if they join, you're going to get 10 tickets, okay? And then the person at the end of this drawing is going to get a free 60-inch television, okay? You can also add additional little things in there if you want to. Maybe 1 ticket is worth a Google review. Maybe 1 ticket is worth a Facebook review if your goal is to add reviews. But we're talking straight referrals. That's the route that we're going on this, okay? But again, the promotion is only as good as the promoter. So if you don't make a big deal of it, if you're not announcing it after every class, everybody that walks the door should know about this. So if Andre's a member and he walks in, I'm going to say, "Hey, Andre, did you hear about a refer and receive play? Did you hear that we're giving away a 60-inch TV? No, what's that? Oh man, come with me. Let me show you." And on the table, you're going to have a fishbowl, okay? And you don't want to have it empty, so maybe you're going to write up like a bunch of tickets, pre-write up tickets, put it in there, right? Because it's a thing to do. People follow mob mentality. And you're going to get them to fill out the referrals, and you're going to add their tickets right there, okay? You need to do this consistently every time. And maybe you do pop-ups, right? Maybe you have a t-shirt and you go out into class and, for one day you say, "Hey, the person that writes the most referrals or gives the most referrals wins this t-shirt," right? Those are little pop-up referrals that you guys can utilize as well. If you guys have any questions throughout the time, put it in the chat, but I know we got time for Q&A after that. Cool. All right. So what are the action steps? All right. You're going to implement a point of sale referral strategy that you do every single time. Okay. You're going to launch your refer and receive play. Okay. Every appointment that you set, you are going to ask them, because again, you're giving them the opportunity to bring somebody in to experience your wonderful community, right? And then you're going to track this and recognize it every single day, every single week. Hopefully you guys got some value in this. If you got any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. If you guys want to PM me, I'm Dave Posin on Instagram. Feel free to send me a message. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. But again, guys, appreciate you guys being on, and thank you.
Boom! How many of you got some value out of this? Guys, referrals are my word. You know how much I love it. Dave absolutely kills it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
If you guys want to know more about this, go search for his podcast that he delivered, killing episode that lasted 2 hours that we had to publish in 2 episodes. But this is the way to do it. How many of you were like shocked? You can ask for referrals prior even getting to become a member, like while you're prospecting. How cool is that? How cool is when you have this POS system? You leave them alone. You give them a sheet. He gave you his prospect sheet. How he does it, and you leave the room and you go out and you give them a time. They are alone. There's no pressure. You can see them filling in. Like how he scripted everything is a masterpiece. Okay, your turn, guys. Share some love. Let's see some stars flying. Do your part. If you like what you hear. I know it's a tough game now. Everybody is freaking awesome. Put thumbs up once you scan the code. Click on the link that Mia shared in the link in the chat. And again, feedback is everything. You want to give David feedback what you like or how awesome this was? This is the time. Cool, guys. Now, let's move into the next one. I have a question. Do you know health and fitness business owners who are struggling to grow their business? We just talked about referral, didn't we? Oh my God, what an intro into this topic. Guys, David just shared story, and this is coincidentally a slide that comes right after that. We figured out Referrizer spent 30% of all our money to acquire clients and was like, okay, why don't we put all that back in the pockets of the people who are bringing us members? And we do it for a lifetime. So why don't we make it easier for you? Imagine this. You can get all this software for free just bringing 3 people in. We know you know more than 3 people running the business or struggling to get clients. So we just launched a referral program. Tony's leading this department. And we want to give back to the community. Now, let's go on. Oh, you guys are up for a treat. Please let me introduce Brad Hinkle. Brad is, oh my God, Vice President of Operations for Red Line Athletics. He's overseeing 56 locations, plus states, 10 years of experience in franchise management, athlete performance training. Brad is also franchise owner. He is everything. He is helping businesses and he is a business, right? He helped companies scale over $12 million in annual revenue. He knows a lot of things in operation efficiency and driving significant revenue growth. Brad, So glad to have you on the call today. And I'm going to give you mouse control so you can take it. Okay, it's all yours. Floor is yours, Brad. Take it over. And you're muted. I think you guys have to unmute it. I just asked you for a mute. It should come up on your screen. Thing to say unmute.
There we go. You got me?
Yes. Sorry, I gave you mouse control, and in the same time, I asked you to unmute yourself. So it's supposed
We'll figure it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Contradicting.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm really excited about this. Just to start off with where my brain is at this year. If you guys follow college basketball, put who you think is going to win this title in the chat, please. And if anybody says the University of Michigan, then I'll give you an extra shout out. Just to say it can be brown nosing. I don't know. And Jokic isn't in college, but hey, we'll take him anyway. I love his post game interviews. So, man, I'm enjoying this. I actually would love to jump into some of these chat rooms with you guys too. I know Dave, that's exactly what we're looking at right now. We've got a process I thought was pretty good and been working well until I hear what you talked about. So, appreciate you guys sharing that stuff. And I'm learning a whole bunch myself too. So I'm Brad. Yeah, I've been at Redline for a while, and just a little quick background on me. I started actually as an intern, and it won't let me click through. So maybe it didn't give me a mouse control, but I started as an intern here at Redline back in 2007, not knowing what I wanted to do. And just to speed up a little bit too, we started franchising in 2013. In 2018, I moved out here to Scottsdale, Arizona to help continue to grow the brand. And then I became an owner about 2 years ago. So I've seen a lot of growth through the process. And really my job starting off was to help support every location opening. And really the front of the house was a big part of it. And understand that that's more than just sales when it comes into selling. So my big topic I want to dive into today is a true story, and how when I bought the location that I bought, I increased the prices and raised the closing percentage at the same time, even when being told directly to my face that we were overpriced for this area. And I just disagreed with that. I'm a huge fan of what we're going to talk about, and we talk about this a ton with our staff, and it's echoing a lot of what I just heard earlier from you guys today too. So glad to see that this is going to resound with you guys as well. So yeah, so the first thing we'll talk about in getting into the day, they won't let me click through, Andre, so you may have to click for me. As we get into is the fact that we train kids. I don't care if you're training adults. I don't care if you're doing a hair salon. I don't care if you're doing other things. People come for content. There's a reason they're coming. I'm trying to lose weight. For us, we're trying to get faster, throw a ball harder, the sports performance side of things. There's a reason why they're coming, but they stay because of connection. I mean, I love that earlier, listening to you guys talk about the culture that you're building and why. But we need to grab onto that with those staff members who are doing the communicating, the selling, the vendors you heard earlier who are doing the marketing. They need to be aligned with that piece of it too. There's a reason why someone's going to come in to your business and whatever you're doing, and that's valid. It could be a referral, sure, but they still have a need that they're coming in with, but they're going to stay because they've connected with you. And it really starts with day one as the most important day for them to come in. So the first day is the best day. And there's three pieces I want to make sure we touch on this next slide here. And number one is the welcome process. So what is it that you guys have your staff do from the initial phone call, email, text campaigns? That communication process is very important. What's the tone you're setting? What questions are you asking? He who asks the most questions wins. We need to listen more than we speak. All these things that you guys have heard a lot, they're so true. But make sure that we listen and hear about how we can meet a need before we create a need. So put a one in the text if you can. If you guys started as a trainer and are now an owner, or started as a hairdresser and are now an owner, or started as the deliverer of the product and now you own the business. And that was me. I literally started as an intern, and on day one, they gave me a data I didn't know, and I'm in a sports performance facility for kids. And I was like, you kidding me? What are we doing? Fast forward, and here we are. So that's our brain, right? We love to fall back on what we're comfortable with, and we may love to work out. We may like put people through workout. Rarely is it business people who are trying to open another business and they pick a training facility or something you guys are doing. So we know that that's our natural bent, right? We need to focus on not just do they get there, but how do we get them into your facility and to be an incredible member? We've got to make sure that welcome process is done well. I love, Dave, you talk about the scripting of those things. If your process doesn't have SOPs, if it's not scripted, then it's going to be easy to change when a new person steps into that role, and that's tough. And I'm in the franchising space, and we try and build as much scripting as we can possible, and we always have more things that we need to get improvement on. Second piece is the actual workout itself. Our focus is on young athletes. Our average member in our main program is about 12 years old. I love it. You saw a picture of my family. I've got kids who are in that age group too. My 2 requirements in hiring a staff member: number 1, you need to know what you're doing. You got to have some kind of education. We don't want to, hire people who don't know what they're doing. And number 2, you got to love kids. Period. The end. We can teach the rest, right? You guys can teach the other pieces of it. But if my staff members love kids and they get them to do my 2 favorite words at the bottom, enjoy improvement, then they're going to come back. So the first workout for those kids, if we're being empathetic and putting ourselves in their shoes, they're nervous. They don't know what's happening. They think they're walking into a gym where they're going to blast Metallica and throw weights around. I've heard this before. You can tell who the new kid is because they walk in the door and they got that look on their face, right? The new member is, whoever's coming into your facility, I need to make sure they have a blast on day 1. That's the priority. And so when I bought this location, that wasn't the priority from the previous. So it was very scripted with, this is a focus on, we need to measure shin angles on your lunges and have an assessment about things. And it was kind of doctoral type of a feel. And it just was not focusing on enjoyment. And so we flipped that script, right? And then the last piece of it too, we'll touch on, is the focusing on finishing. There still needs to be a process. You just heard Dave's a little bit too, like, what are we doing to make sure we ask for the sale? And it blows my mind, and supporting the dozens of locations I have too, that's the nervous thing for people to do, is to actually stop and ask for a card and ask for the commitment. Not even ask for it, but to say, which one would you like to do? It's between yes and yes. And I have a picture of our membership, and we actually built a patent pending membership because of the need that our families have and the uniqueness and the fact that we're marketing to mom and dad, but we have kids and they have schedules and they have siblings. And so we built a flex membership to meet that need, but we got to finish those suckers, right? In order to show the value, you've got to make sure that stuff happens really well. So my favorite phrase on the next slide here is taught to me when I was young in business as well. And my staff was chuckling when I was talking about this call because they knew I was going to say it. And that is, money is only an issue in the absence of value. And I'll say it again, money is only an issue in the absence of value. What that means is money is not always an issue, right? Like, they're coming in because those people love what it is that you do, whether they're trying to get a haircut, lose weight, get stronger, be a better athlete, whatever that is, they're here for a reason. And so there's 2 things I'm going to ask you guys at the end to give me which one you fit in. You're going to fit in one of these two boats. Number 1, you need to be better at creating value in your first day to acquire more members on that day. Or number 2, we need to raise our prices because nobody cares about the pricing and you're closing like crazy. And either way, we're in one of those 2 boats together. I noticed when I bought the facility and took over and dove in, there was a real low-hanging fruit for me just to make sure day 1 was way better. And we actually asked for the sale at the end, and we blow up that value balloon and make sure the families have a blast in what they're doing in here. The kid has a blast, parents see the value. There's details inside of that we won't get to today. But if we make sure that the value is shown, then the money is not going to be a problem. In fact, I started a high performance program, double the rate of our regular membership, haven't marketed yet, and we just had a dozen kids sign up in the last 2 months too. So just kind of proof in the pudding that you show value in what it is you are doing, then it's going to make sense for families, for the members, for whoever it is that you guys are marketing to. So next slide, we're going to talk about what does it mean to be valuable. How do we show value in that pre-assessment communication? It's the way that you talk to them on the phone. It's the way that the style that you're communicating with your staff, and not just you. It was me. I worked in my business for a long time until I started realizing I need to work on it. And now we got to train more people to do a good job. But that was a piece that's hard to really let go and let people lead on, is the style of communication. Are you welcoming? Are you encouraging? Are you understanding? Are you empathetic? And not everybody has that. To be real honest, the better you are as a trainer, the probably the worse you are at this, right? And maybe vice versa. So let's make sure we put aces in their places. In the ABCs, I like to talk a lot about always be closing, not closing a membership, but closing what the next step is. If we're on the phone or communicating with somebody and they haven't been in, the close is, I've got to get your butt in the door. right? And now Dave will talk about, I need your friends to come with you too. It'd be a great time to get them to get rolling as well. But that's the closing on a phone call. We see too many people on the sales side who are trying to like get all the way to a decision on a membership and they haven't even shown up yet, right? Second of all, we got to display value in that first in-person opportunity. We have a character development platform that we have little baller bands for kids to wear because kids love that stuff. And we have a character trait. We have 10 of them, and we have one character trait that they can earn. This has nothing to do with how high they can jump, how fast they can run, all those things. It has everything to do with effort, integrity, compassion, empathy, leadership. The day one when they walk in, it's a bright green band that says courage, trying something new. And we celebrate that, give a band to the kid. Now you can visibly see some of those walls come down. And the bigger thing is it's mom and dad for me who are paying for it, that they see the value in what we're giving that kid and connecting with them in an opportunity. That band cost me like 17 cents a band. And I'm trying to throw them as much as I can because kids love those things too. Right. So how do we get them to enjoy improvement? That's up to the trainers on the floor, but that's a priority for them. Now they see a kid with the bright green band on. Two things happen. Number one, the trainer now has a script that they kind of follow to help them feel welcome and keeps an eye on that athlete throughout the process to make sure they have a blast. And number two, the other members have an opportunity to earn a leadership band because they want to help that new member out as well. So create this culture of improvement on a day when I know that kid's going to be nervous and maybe they didn't even want to come in. So how do we make an impression with them? We got to have a process ready. And the last thing for you guys too is the price point should match the value that you've shown. And not even what you think you should charge, but have you shown the value that you're showing in the price point too? And there's intentional options for that, right? So we're a fan of not having a cheesecake factory worth of membership options, right? We have a flex membership that members can change on their own, or the family can too, but it's intentional in how we built it. And it's based on market research, and we're proud of it. In fact, we're going to be raising prices soon. I don't like raising prices on active members, but I do like raising prices when you start seeing closing percentages up. Nobody's commenting about pricing. My rent goes up 3% every year. The staffing goes up. Some of that makes sense, but also sometimes we sit still, too long. So make sure there's a purpose behind it and be proud of that, right? There's always somebody charging less than you and somebody charging more than you, no matter where you are in the marketplace. And if we can own that and be okay with that person walking out if they felt like the price wasn't where it should be, then that's fine. But one of the 7 devils we have written on a wall, one of them is overgeneralization. Just because one person said you're too expensive doesn't mean you really are. So we got to make sure we keep an eye on what the feedback is as you're rolling through things. But if we show value in what we're doing, that entire first opportunity, from the phone call to the in-person to the athlete, or for us athlete, or for you guys member, doing their actual session and then finishing up with a membership that makes sense, that's going to help you raise closing percentages. Last piece of it here is a challenge I give my staff that's really never going to be proven, but I love to say this. If you doubled the price of your membership overnight, how many members would stay? And this ties into, yes, it's not just day one, it's long-term, but man, that would be hard. Like I bet if we double the prices overnight for all of our businesses, we're going to lose people. They're going to be like, oh man, it's probably not worth whatever your rate is times 2. And that's a challenge for all of us. How do we make sure we continue to show value after day one? How do we make sure those kids, for us, the members, for you guys, or whoever it is in the industry, how do they continue to come back and continue to say yes? And that's the value you provide. The community, the stuff you've heard from these incredible owners as well too, is so spot on. And it's easier said than done. It takes time. It takes the right people. It takes intentionality and making sure that you guys are making a priority to make value what the members need to have. So that's a big part for me. I mean, day one, I think, is a good way of setting the foundation for that long-term membership. And if we drop the ball, if we don't respond on time, if we do a bad job on day one, they're never going to be, coming, not just signing up, but also staying for a while and make sure this is a place that they get a result from.
Boom, guys. I have a question for everybody. I have a question. Make sure you put your cursor in the chat because this is coming out. What's the most expensive membership you've seen somebody charging? Either you or somebody charging for fitness-related product or any kind of membership. Put a number. Let's see this. $200. Okay, Stephanie said. Come on, give me the number. $48,000. Look at that. 130, 189, 200,000 Millie says 1,400. Guys, personal training. Right? You know how much is online personal training membership that gives you access to the app, not even a personal coaching? What's the most expensive Membership for personal training people charge. The number I'm going to throw you is going to make your brain fry. It's $10 on the App Store. But if you sign up for Billy Black, guess what? It's $1,000 and it's a lineup to wait for it. He doesn't even talk to you. $1,000 a month. So the price is not an issue. It's how you deliver it. It's the value you add on it. It's how you communicate it and how you train people about it. You got to keep adding value. That's the only way to do it. Make yourself exclusive. Make yourself unique. Brad just talked about patented process. How many of you think that you can patent something in your industry? Patented, never lose the member. It's so flexible. It's so cool. If you want to know more about it, go listen to the podcast. Now, your time, guys. You know what to do. Now, give some love to Brad. Let's rate. Let's give a comment. Let's share this comment. Just give me thumbs up when you do it. This is how we give a gratitude to the education you guys got. Scan your code, or Mia already shared a link in it. One click, select the number of stars, put a comment or not. Just make sure you do it. If you don't collect the feedback on your members, you should start doing that as well. It's so easy. And don't do it later. If I send you an email later on, you're like, oh, cool. Do it now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's move on. Now, I want to say, how many of you have a relationship with Google? Quick question, huh? How can you make Google love you even more? Think about that. Google can be your best friend or worst enemy. Oh my God. You know where the best leads come from? Where the majority of people go to when they're brand new area? We talk about referrals. That's number one choice. Second choice, people search for that. They look for reviews as well. So, company that's sponsoring this is giving 5 people, first 5, sorry, it costs a lot to do this, but not for you, who would like to get to know what the heck is competitor doing differently than you do. How would you like to compare your business with your best competitor business, shoulder to shoulder, and see what can you do and what you should do to beat them on a Google. Now, this is exclusive report. It's not plug and play. You put it in some kind of SEMrush and put it out. It's custom designed. So, link is in the chat, guys. This is how we run the conferences so we can deliver you value. Okay, first 5 who do this, scan the QR code or click on the link. Now, let's move on. Final speaker is myself. How exciting. And who is this guy, right? I gotta say, guys, if there's one word that can be my middle name, is called passion. If you guys don't get that so far, I'm all about it. Making things better, faster, cheaper, using AI software. I'm inspired. I see the problem, guys. Throw the problem. I got inspired. Don't get drained. All my brain cells light up. Let's solve that motherfucker. Sorry, my language. But I dedicated my life, last 20 years, to help local business community. I built 5 companies, and I'm totally just my little passion obsessed about AI. If you have AI video, you want to chat about AI, you want to do AI, cool. Let's chat about it. Now, how many of you don't like fluctuations? How many of you enjoy one day busy, super, something is coming up, second day is empty, like Facebook and Google died? How many of you would like to have same constant flow of the leads and customers and members coming through weekly, daily, monthly, right? This is the world we'll live in. It's coming up and down. January comes, fitness is happy. Everybody has New Year's resolutions. Summer comes, everybody disappears. What the heck is going on? You're not alone, but there's a better way. What if you can straighten things out? What if you can get line that goes up and forward? Today, I'm going to show you some cool things that I learned from you guys after running Referrizer for 11 years, seeing 10,000 clients, overseeing 11,000 or 100,000 campaigns, and literally you guys blasting billion of messages out. I had a privilege to compare, to separate what's good from the bad, thriving from struggling, growing from dying. How many of you would like to see some of that? Thumbs up, put a chat, say yes. I got to tell you, it's not easy. As a business owner, it takes time. Oh my God, I'm the one, same thing. How many of you came into the business to get more time and now you're finding yourself, where the heck is that time, right? Good luck. It's like having a baby and expecting to have all the time in the world. Money is uncertain, right? They sold us on a business class. You're walking in a plane and saying, oh my God, this business owner lives such a fortunate life. Where is that? In future, we don't know what's going to happen, right? That's why I'm handpicking some tactics that you guys will love. Drives results, no guesswork, no experimentation, no trial and error, just strategies that works. Growing business doesn't have to be hard, lonely, or unpredictable. Now, I got to throw some names here. If you guys are on the call, cool. But I learn about O2 Fitness, Body Alive, X3 Fitness, Spa Maria, Yoga Joint, Wisconsin Athletic Club. Incredible success. Cool, they're growing. But good luck finding ads about their business. How the heck are they doing it? Now, what I'm about to show you, there's many strategies. Today we have a limited time. I'm going to do this as a series. I'm going to focus on one. And one of these is they focus on building a huge database. Guys, data. Everybody talks about data. And they use campaigns extensively. They use the data. And of course, they dominate Google search. They are in great relationship with the Google. So now, why building a database? Why are we talking about it? Do you know what's the biggest evaluation on the airline companies? If somebody's buying airline company, what does they give them? What gives them value? You know, when you fly, they approach you and offer you credit card, miles to sign up. You guys saw that, right? Every airline company has their own credit card. You know that points on a credit card earned makes more money for an airline company than their flights. Their margin on flights is minimum. But they make money all the time while you're out shopping using their credit cards. Now, let's talk about this. So, meet Paul. Paul, I don't know if you're on the call, but Body Alive, oh my God, such impressive business. Guys, 7 years, #1 rated in their industry, Cincinnati, as a business. They never run the ads. They don't run it now. Best rated yoga Pilates bar studio in Cincinnati. 45,000 contacts. They send 200,000 text messages every month. How cool. You're thinking how the heck did they build this? Now, Walmart. Every time Walmart, you go in, they ask you for your email. They just cashed out $89. SMS subscriber for the retail large businesses is worth $200 to $500. This is all study, guys. You can verify this. Orange Theory, Soul Cycle. Value SMS number opt-in between 450 and 600. Large retail brands like Nike and Adidas, same thing, up to $500 just by capturing your number. And how many of you think one day you'll be out of your business? You want to sell it. You want to cash out. You start a business, you build a business, you want to cash out. Right? Everybody does. But let's compare. You can cash out for maybe $500,000 or maybe double, million or 2 or 3, depends on how big it is. It all depends on how big is your active database, your used database. You can do 1 or 2 times EBITDA or 3 to 5 times EBITDA. It's all the time. Now, my favorite story where we started this is Matthias, Elements Massage down in Pinecrest. When he started first time, he got addicted to this. Sending text messages. This is his email coming to me. Hey, Andre, I forgot to take a first screenshot. It was empty. But 23 empty slots for today. Look what our schedule looks like now. You only sent out to passive. It's fantastic. What he means is he emailed and texted out his past customers and he booked out calendar. You wake up in the morning, you go out and your calendar is empty. You do a couple clicks and your calendar is full. No more slow days, guys. Having a database gives you control. Control. At any time, you can send and get 2 to 4%. It's like customers on demand. Right? 23 slots, open, closed. Now, let's talk about how to build it. I'm going to go through this fast because we have a couple minutes. You guys, how many of you are in the business for more than 5 years? Just nod. Yep. Did you save every number of every person who called your business in the last 5 years? Think about it. How many calls do we get? We never save the calls. You guys can use Smart Line system. The Referrizer offers that. Most of you are our clients anyway. Use it. Automatically track the numbers and build in. I have a businesses called Integrated Core Concept. Congrats, guys, if you're on the call. 6,000 phone numbers opted in. on autopilot. 6,000. Calculate that times $500 that was previously mentioned. People call your business, SMS opt-in message goes back to them and saying, hey, would you like to participate in these new offers? Just say yes. We'll keep you as a VIP. Boom. You keep adding to the database. Cool. Now, website, such a huge potential or horrible waste. Depends how you build it. Right? You can use website pop-up. Simply as that. Dexafit Boston. We have a bunch of Dexafit on the call here. Simple offer, cover the website, boom, 240 captured opt-in numbers every 30 days. Cash out, guys, on this one. Let's go for it. Walk-in data. People walk in. Now, this Paul from Body Alive Yoga Pilates Studios. He runs the ClassPass. You see, I signed up for ClassPass. I went over 5 businesses just to check it out, how it works. No single business owner asked me for data. None. 5 missed opportunities. Nobody followed up with me. Why? ClassPass doesn't give you data. Or you can be a different one and check in. You have a little tablet, check in when you come in. Capture 6,800 opt-in numbers. Guys, when you pile up all of these 4, and the last one is my favorite one. This is a business that before they even opened the door, they captured 1,200 numbers. How? While they're building up, they put text yes to their number and get your free coffee. You can put text yes to win a free membership. And people are walking by your business if you're in high traffic area and somehow numbers just popping in. You guys can do this. Value of the database is incredibly high. Now, every booking, every interaction, every time, you got to save it. You got to automate it, set it, and forget it. And then use it on autopilot, right? If you run events, you can do it. Phone calls, website traffic, every interaction, either digital or analog. Now, it's very important to collect cell phone numbers and ask for opt-in. Do not ever opt in person without them giving you permission. That's illegal. You'll be fined $1,500 for every SMS message that's being sent out without opt-in permit, and you can close the door. But if you do it right, text messages is the way to go. When I see people having a pop-up on their website capturing only email, oh, you're losing 10 times more opportunities there. And I have teach you guys about how to do this. You can send an email text to leads, to past customers, to bring them back, current members, upsell, resell, retention, churn prevention, asking for referrals, asking for reviews. You can trigger based on their behavior, their status in the business. If they stall, if they fail on the business of the billing, retention, reactivation, all of that. I ran a webinar a couple of weeks ago about win-back magnet. It's going to be shared with you guys if you want to go deep into this. Now, simple 4 rules. If you send text message, don't miss the rule. You'll waste all the opportunity. You send a message, I see mistakes, sending without their name on it. Like, oh, we have great offer, click here to redeem it, and not saying who is the business. Right? Personalize it. Let people use their name. See, David Posin used my name. I felt awesome. I felt personal. I felt like he's really connecting with me when he was talking about these offers. Right? Use the name, guys. Now, put his irresistible offer, has to be there, and has to be call to action. Hey, client name, Soldier Fit are doing great client appreciation event this week, giving you 10 free classes to our favorite people. Click here to claim your free class. Cool. People will do it. Now, this is fast. What we want to do, guys, is just give you a quick introduction to Platinum Pro. We're launching a new system where we coach people, businesses like you, how to structure campaigns for next 12 months. No more guessing. No more being behind. No more holidays coming and I was like, oh my God, I should send text and email. We are doing coaching and helping you structure whole calendar of campaigns so you're never in reactive mode. If you guys want a free consultation on that, by all means, just go scan the QR code, take advantage of our offers, use what we are giving you here. Learn from us. You have our heart in it. Now, on the next event, I'm going to talk about how to really get the Google to love you. How the heck did the yoga join get 100 Google reviews. Oh my God, and dominate Google reviews. And they're not running any ads. How the heck? Look at this, ads, 0, boom. You search on yoga on the Facebook, no. By the way, huge success, multiple locations, opening like a hotcakes, crazy. How did the Tiger Schulman get 3 times on the first page of Google? Look at this, first time, second time, 3 times. Half of the Google real estate they own. How many of you would like that? I thought it's even impossible to have same freaking domain 3 times on one time on page. If you guys want to learn about that and how F45 Training get 125 reviews in 1 month and become second most rated franchise in 2,000 locations franchise, sign up for the next event. We are coming with so many goodies. Now, it's time to give this speaker feedback. Take your time, 10 seconds. And I know we're a little bit past the line, and I see that everybody's still here. Cool. I would love you guys to give me a feedback. I don't participate in an award, but I want to make sure that I do get a feedback so I know what to do next time. If I should speak slowly or loudly or even faster. Thank you guys for participating. I want to make sure that we continue momentum. Next event is April 17th, 3 p.m. Punchy fast. Incredible people like today. I want to tell Derek and Dave and Brad and all my incredible speakers like Nick, a huge word of appreciation for coming in and sharing their secrets, sharing their success with all of us.